Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawada from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it can be edifying. And got some more news to report. All right, from zeroheads.com, you have more job cuts. All right, just in time for the holidays, right? Just in time for the holidays, man. And, you know, this video isn't necessarily about Verizon per se. They're just the latest in a long list of corporate companies that have been cutting, you know, their workforce, making way for AI, restructuring their companies. You know, and all these large companies seem to be, you know, integrating themselves and getting ready for an ultimate integration into a digitized system, you know, AI having, you know, more autonomy over data, you know, over logistics, things like that. So the need for humans will pretty much become obsolete other than a few managers of the AI. Okay, that's where we're going. So let's get right into this. Zeroheads.com. Verizon axes 13,000 workers just 1 week before Thanksgiving, man. All right. You know, as you people get into that holiday spirit, you know, thankful for family, because, you know, the average person, they don't really think about Thanksgiving other than the fact that they're off work. You know, they get to be with family and shit like that. But we know what it goes back to. But the Lord is stripping that feeling away from you people. And hey, Thawadi How Bashim Yahweh Shah, we're going to continue to see more of this. But let's get into this. Verizon CEO Dan Schulman released a public letter to the company's 100,000 person workforce on Thursday morning, revealing that more than 13,000 job cuts will begin today. The timing is optically displeasing, coming just 1 week before Thanksgiving holiday. Hey, they question you people's spirits, man. Today, we will begin reducing our workforce by more than 13,000 employees across the organization, and significantly reduce our outsource and other outside labor expenses, Schulman wrote in the letter. Schulman said Verizon established a $20 million reskilling and career transition fund for departing workers. So they got y'all a little care package. Focus on training, digital skills. All right, can you manage this AI? And job placement in the era of artificial intelligence. Woo! See? Hey, and there was a TikTok, and there was a dude, Edomite looking dude, wearing glasses, and he was recording his conversation, and he has an AI manager. All right. His company placed a manager over him that's artificial intelligence. Man, you people are fucking cooked, man. All right. And who do you see? You know, you see all different types of people, you know, in this photo that they decided to, you know, use for this article. But who do you see front and motherfucking center, man? Eve. Eve right there in the middle, and Eve right there off to our right, her left. All right. Then you got like I don't know what that dude is. I'm not sure. You know, you got Edomites in the back, looking like you got Jake in the back. All right. Hey, people losing their jobs, man. It says this fund will focus on skill development, digital training, and job placement to help our people take their next steps. Verizon is the first company to set up a fund to specifically focus on the opportunities and necessary skills set as we enter the age of AI, the CEO noted. This is major. They're reconfiguring how their companies operate, and they're going to leave a couple people here and there to be able to integrate and manage the AI that they're using to replace most of you people's jobs, man. You know, a lot of you people went to school for this. You know, you went and got degrees for your fields, and it's being replaced by AI. All right. If you want to be an accountant, data analyst, and shit like that, your job is obsolete, man. You can't think faster than this AI is moving now. Okay. I'm gonna read that part again. It says Verizon is the first company to set up a fund specifically focused on the opportunities and necessary skills set as we enter the age of AI. We are in the age of AI, man. The CEO noted. Schulman's letter comes 1 week after the Wall Street Journal reported that Verizon was planning about 15% in job cuts or about 15,000 workers. Bloomberg's latest data suggests that 13,000 job cuts equal about 13% of its roughly 100,000 person workforce. Wall Street Journal notes that this would be the largest workforce reduction on record for the carrier. Also last week, Verizon chairman Mark Bertolini told CNBC's Becky Quick on Squawk Box that the company needs to do something different as it undergoes its leadership change. Separate but notable. So you see right here, man, hey, it's going down. Let's go ahead and get these scriptures. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. While it says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah, seek you the Lord now, man. Remember our creator. All right, the Lord surely is a power that hideth himself, but it's evidence in everyday life that he exists. But the mass majority of the population do not reverence Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Verse 2, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, right before all hell breaks loose. Before things really start shaking people up to where they have to acknowledge the higher power, Yahweh. Verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. These are your financial analysts, your foresight guys, It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, all right, your workers. And those that would look out of the windows be darkened. And AI definitely is going to replace a mass majority of the workforce in America and across the world. And that's why they're going to come in with a income incentive. Universal high income is what, Elon Musk was calling it. It used to be called universal basic income. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. All right. Once again, the economy is slowing down. These jobs are closing its doors. And if they're not closing their doors, then they're reconfiguring and they're running with less employees because now they've integrated AI. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So this is evidence of that. More job cuts, right? Just in time for the holidays, right? The Lord is, the Lord, man, the Lord not playing. He's fucking up you people's livelihoods. All right, because America must fall, man. All right, and we're seeing it. And let's finally get this. Isaiah the 19th chapter, and we're going to go down to the 14th verse. The Lord Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Okay, so the Lord is causing this place to err. That's why you see all this, shit going on with these Epstein files and stuff like that, where they release it, where they not release it. The government shuts, the government opens, they cut interest rates, they raise interest rates, just all over the place. It's unstable. They're staggering. Verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Again, this is spiritual Egypt. This is America, which the head or tail, branch or rest may do. So, we're coming to a time where, we're going to walk away from these jobs, man. This is how they're setting it up. They're manufacturing this, and it's all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. They're getting ready for that MOTB to be declared, man, and made mandatory. Verse 16, and that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and feared because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. So the Lord is in full control of the affairs of what's going on in the earth. He's orchestrating it. He declared it from the beginning. All right, verse 17, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Right, because when Jake start losing these damn jobs, man, and their livelihoods really get cut off, those that are not rooted in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, they're going to turn up. They're going to be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he have determined against it. They're going to start going into these wealthy Edomite neighborhoods and wreaking havoc. All right, because it's going to be the haves versus the have-nots. They're trying to create class war. They're trying to create political divisions. They're trying to create, racial divisions. And that's what we're seeing. All of this is going to accumulate. The video I did yesterday, and brothers have been doing videos on that picture, the world in 2026. It highlights a lot of these things that they plan on trying to do. Things going to accelerate. All right. So again, Verizon, they sent 13,000 workers home right before Thanksgiving. They ain't give a fuck. They could have waited. They got money. They said, nah, we're gonna make this decision, man. They're moving toward AI. And these other companies are gonna definitely follow suit, man. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.